Are you going places or left behind because you don't have a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Travel Best will bring you the best answers, tips, and hear mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. What's on your bucket list? You can tell me your dreams, your wishes, and your travel fantasies. I'll help you get there. I'm going to respond to your travel questions, as well as share my mistakes and missteps in travel, because I've made just about every mistake. You don't have to. I wrote and published the best-selling and famous book, CD, and website, The World's First Guide to Independent Travel. And since 1993, I've been running a marketing business, raising 4 children with my husband, and been a university professor while traveling. My travel experiences are helpful to others like you, so I want to share them so you make your trip the very best, like travel best. In this episode, we'll talk about an FAQ, what to do when you get sick on the road. We'll talk about a destination, national parks, USA and Canada, mistake, getting a haircut in Hong Kong, and a tip, where the locals go is where you should go. So we'll start out with the FAQ. And the question is, what do I do when I'm sick while traveling? Well, this is a very important question, probably the most important question that you'll be facing, because just about everything besides you can be fixed. So here are 4 things that you can do if you're sick while traveling. Number 1, skip anything that's strenuous, activity-wise. So no bungee jumping. Don't go swimming in the ocean. Don't go climb that mountain today. Take it easy. The second thing is to take a long, hot bath or shower if you can. The third thing is to eat foods that are gentle on your stomach. And the fourth is to drink lots and lots and lots of water and juice and tea. And hopefully you can flush out whatever it is. So the thing to do before you get sick or before you leave on your trip is to ask yourself, do you have insurance? So you could check with your health insurance company before you take your trip. And if you don't have health insurance, you might want to get some. And especially if you're going out of the country, this could be important. I can share my experience in Mexico City. I knew I was going to be in Costa Rica for about a week, and we stopped in Mexico City for a few days. And while there, I just could tell that I was getting sicker and sicker, and I needed to get antibiotics. I do have a service called Teledoc, and I tried to use that. But unfortunately, you can't use that outside of the United States. I didn't know that. So I did find a doctor. I got a cab, went to see this doctor, and got the prescription for antibiotics. I went to the pharmacist, and then I had the prescription filled and paid for it. So that was an experience that I don't wish on anybody, because if you're really feeling miserable, as I was, you just don't even enjoy yourself. You just want to get it over with. And fortunately, I was better within about 24 hours, and the rest of my trip turned out to be excellent. But I also had another experience when I was in Taipei a couple of months ago, and I had food poisoning. And with that, you just have to wait it out. I was sick for one entire night, and it was the seafood, it was the shellfish that I ate in a very nice restaurant. So I just had to take care of my body, just take it easy, take lots of hot showers, very easy foods, and then lots and lots of liquids. So I hope you have that same experience. I want to talk about a destination. Let's talk about national parks. So why do you want to go to a national park? It's because they have the treasures. That's where our nation's heritage is from. That's why our country, whatever the country it is you're in, your national park is going to be very special to you. And I'm from America. I'm from the USA. And I find that I love America so much more after visiting a national park. One of my favorite national parks is Yosemite. I was engaged on a mountain, Half Dome, in Yosemite, so always has a special meaning for me. In 2018, our family had a national park trip. And we started out in San Diego and went to Bryce Canyon and Zion National Parks in Utah. And from there, we went north to first to Yellowstone and stayed a while there, and then Glacier National Park, and then continued upward through Canada all the way to Banff and Jasper. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Once you're 62 years of age, you can get an $80 lifetime pass plus a $10 handling fee unless you get it in person. That went up August 28th, 2017. This is good for U.S. citizens or permanent residents age 62 or over. So you can get that at any one of those federal sites or through the mail. It's a great value. It's a really, really great value. I am so excited to share that with you. But if you don't have a lifetime pass, there are some free days. For example, in 2019, you can get entrance only for free on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, on the first day of National Park Week, on the National Park Service Anniversary, National Public Lands Day, which happens to be Saturday, September 28th, and on Veterans Day. So those 5 days, you can enter the parks. Anybody can for free. Now, there's also an America the Beautiful 2019 annual pass that costs $80, and that's per year. You can get 3 adults in, and children under 16 are admitted for free as well. There's also a America the Beautiful Access Pass for those with permanent disabilities. And again, that's free. In Canada, you can also get an annual pass. And we did that. We bought that right at the gate. It can save you a lot of time in line, too. We probably saved an hour just in the line after we bought it in Banff, because when we kept going, we went up to Jasper and several other national parks, too. The Canadian Rockies are really quite an experience. So I mentioned we went to Glacier National Park, and then once you get into Canada, there's another section of Glacier National Park, which is in Canada, and that's called the Waterton Glacier. We kept going north after that and went up to Lake Louise. That resort was a bucket list place for me. Have you ever been to the Banff Springs Hotel? I just loved it. We didn't stay inside the park. We got some rooms outside. But I'll tell you, this was just such a beautiful time. It was June and the roads were great. So the Discover Pass in Canada gives you unlimited admission for a full year, and they've got over 80 parks that you can use that. So now let me tell you about a mistake. I got a haircut in Hong Kong, and I didn't speak any of the language with the person who was cutting my hair. That was a mistake. Usually, I've always been able to talk to the person cutting my hair. And in this case, I just took a risk. So I don't really recommend that. This person in Hong Kong cut it really short, so short that I kind of looked like a man. And to back that up, I went to a hotel where they had a pool and I didn't have a bathing suit. And they said, sure, we can give you a bathing suit. And they gave me a man's bathing suit, not a woman's. So that wasn't a very good experience. So that was my mistake. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten a haircut in Hong Kong, although it all grew out. Some travel advice. So Dr. Travel Best wants you to go off the beaten path. I want you to go where the locals go. Now, how do you find where the locals go? Well, you might find a bar, a cafe, a library, or a church, and find out, what do the local people do in their daily lives? You know, once you're traveling, you don't always need to visit all the touristy places just to say you're there. Of course, you can go to them. Nothing wrong with that. But consider, what are your personal needs? What do you really want to see? And what are your interests? And follow them. And that's what's so great about independent travel. You can take a city bus. You can take a subway. And I've done this in almost every country I've been to. I've always been able to get back to where I started. So that's how you can avoid getting lost. You basically retrace your steps. And again, ask the locals. They really want to talk to you for the most part. So I really want to bring meaning to your travel. Thanks for sharing this edition of the World's First Guide to Independent Travel with Dr. Mary Travel Best, and share it with your girlfriends. If you want to know more, just search for Dr. Mary Travel Best, and you'll find me on the web, social media, and in audio formats. Helping women travel best is my goal. So please send me your travel questions so I can help you and help others too. I'm looking for you to travel best. So go ahead and let me know what's on your bucket list.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.